can say about the motivation of Mladinska knjiga that part of it is more or less the same as was previously mentioned by a colleague. So in this changing publishing landscape, you need as many money for publishing book as you can get, so you are searching around how to find this money, and this initiative is one you really came about quite naturally. So this is one of the reasons. The other reason would be that the money we get from the European Union gives you a chance to promote these books better, so meaning you don't just publish these books, but also you can promote them, invite the authors. Let's say this year we have 4 visits of the foreign authors. 3 of them came to this book fair, which is happening at the moment. So this is also one thing which is okay. Although this initiative first started with just grants for the translation, now in the last 2 years the special money is reserved for the promotion as well. And one other aspect which is not unimportant, at least for us editors. I don't know about the heads of the publishing companies, but for the editors, we would like to work with always with the best possible translators from the certain language, and with money you get from EU, you can decently pay them. So they received a higher pay for their work, although since this initiative is changing in details all the time. It's a fluid thing, and one of the things which I cannot really understand is that 2 years ago they removed this required pay for the translator. For each country there was a certain amount you had to pay. Now you're not obliged to. You can pay as you like, which I don't find it really good. So,
well, we are a small publishing house, publishing 30 to 40 titles per year, and from the beginning, that's 13 years ago, we were trying to get grants for translations, because we are trying to translate good books for young adults mainly. And so with European money we can do that for more books at one time, though I find the paperwork too demanding, and now grants for other countries are much easier to get. I don't know the secret. Well, we don't have a secret to receive. We applied 3 times and were awarded 2 times with a grant, EU grant. Well, once we were refused for very funny reasons, we think. Well, I agree with Andrei about paying translators. That's a very good thing that with those funds we can pay them well, and also for promotion. We applied last year for 6 titles, and Slovenian Book Agency give us grant for 7 titles. So, well, we have to produce about 20 titles without grants, and it's a problem for a small publishing house having 4 employees that one have to do all that paperwork and following all those grants. And I think those translation grants are meant mostly for big publishing houses or for small ones that publish only that number of books that are supported or some more, but not 20 more. So it's very difficult for such publishing houses as ours to be engaged in European translation fund. So in future, perhaps we will go towards separate countries again.
When I first read the outline of the program, I thought this program is meant for my publishing house, because ICU is focused on books that are about migration, about multicultural issues, and the things that are supported by the program seemed very appropriate for us. So we were motivated to do books that are available on these topics, and we wanted to fill a niche in Bulgarian market, because we think this is something that Bulgarian readers lack. They need more of these books to be aware of these problems that are rising and being very painful. So this was the first motivation. Then I agree with my colleagues that the programs give you the opportunity to give fair pay for the translators. And the thing about authors is really important, that you can invite authors at book fairs. In Sofia we've invited our authors, and the visibility of the books is much greater that way. So on another note, we try to look on this program as a long-term thing, not just publish one project then another one. We started with a project with 3 books, then we continued with 5 books, and we built on the first project with deepening and expanding languages and themes, and looking at these problems from different point of view. And this is very important, that the program gives you the opportunity to do this. The problem was the third time when we had a project of 8 books, and we thought this project was really nice written and well maintained and balanced, but it was rejected. So now we are going back to point 1, and I don't know how we're going to continue.
In this regard, I also can see that we don't feel very successful, because this year also our project was rejected from strange reasons, because last year we had a similar project our projects tend to have a similar note in it, and a similar type of writers included in it. So the topics that we usually use is the diversity of Europe, and we tend to make a journey for the readers through the European Union, through the continent. What motivates us, besides the money and the help that we support, that we get, is maybe the audience development, because the Macedonian market is really small and really commercialized in a way that most of the publishing houses tend to publish titles that are based on the commercial success, and only a few of them are working towards the development of a better audience. So what we like about this new project is that everyone involved in the project is supposed to have a good promotion and a good communication of the content of the books published, because in the previous years we saw a tendency that many of the applicants didn't have enough experience to even apply for a project, and they received a grant. So they kind of it was a way of life for them, which cannot be justified, and it's maybe one of the problems that we are facing in Macedonia is that, and it's a problem I think with the project, that not every publishing house is evenly treated. Maybe it shouldn't be evenly treated. It should be. They should look into the portfolio, into the number of employees, maybe number of book published in the previous years, and maybe rank it differently when review the applications. But basically, the good thing about the project is that in Macedonia it creates a positive trend in the audience, and it develops.
Our publisher were 100% scientific non-fiction publishing house in Hungary since 1989, and we concerned to become known in the literary scene in Hungary after we just found this application in 2011, and so we just published already more than 45 titles with this EU program. Yeah, and it's also true in Hungary that the market is really small, and it's really hard to find our readership and to promote well the books, and yeah, but this kind of program is a bit like publishing innovation support, or I don't know. So we are developing in marketing strategy, and we also make it better in our non-fiction books. So it's a really great chance to develop this part of our work. So yeah.
Hello everybody, it's nice to be again in Ljubljana for the book fair. So the question is, why is this support important? I think it is important with various reasons, but one of the most, it is how to publish in the different language quality literature, which is always in all countries, especially in the small countries, such as all our countries, are somewhere put it beside or in the bookstores, and that are not promoted so good. So I think that is the main aim of that, why we are also try to get funding from European Union. Our publishing house, we get it for 6 or 7 times during past almost 9 years, I think. So we were twice, we only did get it twice. And it gives us also opportunity, as Andre said, to give a fair pay for the translators, to also we always invite authors for visit. So in this new project for Creative Europe 2014-2020, it gave us opportunity also to include that cost of promotional cost in the project. On the other hand, and it also gave us opportunity to go in some projects of some books that otherwise wouldn't be translated in Croatian, especially when we talk about really huge books like Petar Nadaš or Olga Tokarczuk, Knjižni that we just get. So it is those books are 800, 1,000 pages, so it is very hard to finance with your own money. And when you talk in the beginning, and I was really thinking about it, how it's happened that smaller countries, smaller languages get more success for that. It is, I think that is the problem because of our markets. Our markets are too small, and market of the grants, which is also market, we must be serious about that. For us, it's really important, and from all our countries, we try to get those money. And when you think about the big publishing houses in Germany, France, UK, Spain, Italy, they can, when you sell 5,000 books, you will always get your money, your invest money back. But if you publish if your average print run is 1,000 or even smaller, you cannot go to the project as a publisher for the books that you don't have grant. So that is with the translation. So then you have like cost of translation is like 30%, and that is something that will kill you if you go without grant. So that is I think the reason why all publishing houses from those smaller countries, if you put behind us, so I think Serbia, Slovakia, maybe, so you would have 75% of something like that. So I think that is the reason. And then when you think about also small languages, I don't like that. Lesser used language, so the same. But when you think about Scandinavian, so Finnish, Danish, Norwegian, so they also can sell 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 copies. So that is for us impossible. When you think about that, one Finnish author, Sophie Oksanen, which is really great author, in Finland itself, she sold very high quality literature in at least 200,000 copies. So that is science fiction for all of us. So I think that is the reason why we are more, we need to grab that grants, and we are more serious in thinking about grants, how we will fill it, and so on. On other markets, they are more up to market how to sell the books.
I will connect to say it and then wrap up this first round. Yes, there is what we can see in the last couple of years is although that also big countries and big publishing houses are starting to apply for this European grant. So the concurrence is getting bigger and bigger each year, and that's why some of the publishers who always got the grant or most of the times got the grant now are starting to also lose the grants, because you can really see their German publishing houses, even publishing houses from England, from the UK, many Italian, so also from bigger languages, they are starting to apply for this grant. And Sejd gave this example now for Sophie Oksanen, who really sold a lot. But for instance, I spoke with the publisher of Sejem in the UK a couple of weeks ago, and I was stunned to hear that Sejem, who is a quality literature author but also a very known name, doesn't sell more than an average of 1,000 copies in the UK. And you know, this is also a reason why a lot of UK publishing houses, especially the smaller ones, are starting to apply for this grant too. And there's another shift you can see when you look at the applicants. And we have a fine example here from Hungary, Typotex. So a lot of publishing houses who used not to publish literary fiction at all, who are publishing houses for non-fiction books or for other types of books, are starting to apply to the EU funds and starting to make a literary backlist just to start to apply. So this is also one reason why there are more and more applicants each year, and the money more or less stays the same. This is something we also discussed with Sejd a couple of weeks ago. We have 2 million euro on the EU literature on the EU literature translation funds. If you divide this to all countries which are eligible, and these are more than, it's 34, so more than EU member states. If you divide this, you come to a roughly 50 or 60,000 euro per country. This is a really small amount. And I think from this point of view, also the national grants given to the publishers, especially in the small countries where we all come from, are very important.